Okay students, today we will learn to calculate interest on drawings. Now to calculate interest on drawings, as you can see, I have mentioned there are two methods. One is shortcut method, another is product method. Now what is the difference between these two methods? We use shortcut method when the amount of drawings or the amount withdrawn is fixed, okay? And we use product method when amount withdrawn may be different. Means whenever, in case of shortcut method, whenever you will withdraw money, the same amount you will be withdrawing every time, okay? But in case of product method, the amounts may be different. Time interval and date in case of shortcut method is fixed, okay? And under product method, time interval and date not fixed. What does it mean? See, I have given one example. See, 2000 rupees is withdrawn each month. Means in a year you are withdrawing 2000 every month and the amount is same. Means for 12 months you will be withdrawing 2000 only. So in such cases here you will follow shortcut method. But in this case, see, on January you have withdrawn 2000. On April you have withdrawn 1000 and June 500. The time gap is also not same. Means after January there was lapse of 2 months. Then on April you have withdrawn. The amount is also different. Again there was one month gap and you have withdrawn money on June. And again the amount is different. So you can see the gap between the month is also not same and the amount is also not same. In that case you will follow product method, okay? So here I think the basic difference is clear. In case of shortcut method, same amount will be withdrawn and the time interval and the date will be fixed. And in case of product method, the time interval is also not same and the amount is also not same. Clear? Now when we are talking about time interval and date, now see, the time interval and date can be divided in 6 cases. First, you can withdraw the money in the beginning of each month. In the beginning of each month, what does it mean? Suppose you are withdrawing money on 1st January, then the second withdrawal will be on 1st February, then again 1st March, again 1st April, again 1st May. So like this, every month on the first day of each month, okay? So this is the first case. Now the second case, at the end of each month. Now what does it mean at the end? Suppose if you are withdrawing money every month, then the ending of the month is 31st January, then 31st of January, then the last day of February, that is 28th Feb, then the last day of March, that is 31st March, okay, like this. So when we are talking about at the end of each month, that means the last day of every month, okay? Now the third case is in the middle of each month, okay? Middle of each month means 15th of every month, 15th of January, 15th of February, 15th of March. Like this it will be same for all the months. Means in the middle of each month means date 15 is the middle of each month. So you will be withdrawing money on the 15th of each month. So this is the case when we are withdrawing money for each month. The first case is in the beginning of each month. Beginning means first day of each month. At the end of each month means last day of each month, okay? And in the middle of each month means date 15th, okay? In these 3 cases we have discussed about monthly withdrawal, right? Now you can withdraw quarterly also, okay? Now what does this quarterly means? Means dividing the year in 4 quarters. Means for January, February, March will be the first quarter, okay? Means 3 months in each quarter, 3 months in each quarter. So first quarter, January, February, March, then April, May, June will be the second quarter, then July, August, September will be the third quarter, then October, November, December will be the fourth quarter. So this is the quarterly distribution. Now come to the cases. Here, in the beginning of each quarter. So now you can withdraw money. Suppose if we are talking about in the beginning of each quarter, so in the first quarter it will be 1st January. In the second quarter it will be 1st April. It will be 1st April. In the third quarter it will be 1st July, and in the fourth quarter it will be 1st October. So you will withdraw, in case of quarterly withdrawal, you will withdraw money only 4 times. Okay, and that is also in the beginning of each quarter. Now come to the second case, at the end of each quarter. End of each quarter means here you can see end of each quarter, that is in case of first quarter it would be 31st March. In case of second quarter it would be 30th June. In case of third quarter it would be 30th September, and in case of fourth quarter it would be 31st December. That means the last day of last month of each quarter. Okay, clear? Now come to the third case, in the middle of each quarter. What does it mean? Means middle month of each quarter. Okay, and again middle date of each quarter. That means 15th February, in this case it will be 15th May. In the case of third quarter it will be 15th August, and in case of fourth quarter it will be 15th November. Okay, so here we come to a conclusion that if we are talking about in the beginning of each quarter, that means that first month and first date of each quarter. Okay, and when we are talking about at the end of each quarter means last month and last date of each quarter. And when we are talking about middle month of each quarter means middle month and date 15 of each quarter. I hope you are clear with the 6 cases. 2 notes you must remember that. First, if date of drawings and period is not given, calculate interest for 6 months. Suppose these are the 6 intervals, right? 6 dates will be given, but no date is mentioned in the question. In that case, you have to calculate drawings for 6 months. Okay, you have to calculate interest on drawings for 6 months. Don't forget that if date of drawings and means when you are withdrawing, whether you are withdrawing in the beginning, whether you are withdrawing at the end is not mentioned, in that case you will calculate drawings for 6 months. And again, one more thing you must remember. Suppose after rate you must have seen the word per annum is mentioned, right? Like 10% per annum, 10% per annum used to be given, right? But if this word is not mentioned, then you have to calculate without time reference. Means you suppose if date is not given, then you can calculate for 6 months. But if this word per annum is not mentioned, then you can directly calculate on the rate basis. That is 10% on 10,000. For example, you have to calculate on 10,000 10%. That means directly 10,000 into 10%, it will give you 1,000. No period is to be mentioned. Okay.